Hello everyone, welcome back to our What a Card series. I am Jackie and thank you for joining me today. So recently in my October daily, I don't if you're following me, you'll know already, but I included a easel card in one of my spreads. And so a community member asked if I would show how to create one of these. So that's what we're going to do today. Now the first thing I did was find a house design in Cricut Design Space, and I printed that out and put all these pieces together, and I have a little video here that will show you how I put that together. Now, if you don't have Design Space, Cricut, or Silhouette, you can actually do this by cutting out a square and a triangle and adding, another rectangle here for windows, creating a door. You could do all of that just by creating it with cardstock, or if you have die cuts, you could use those as well and end up creating one just as easy. So this is our main focal point. So for our card base, we're going to take our 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. I'm using Martha Stewart, and this is Sunrise. And we're going to cut this down to 3 3/4 by 11 3/4. Now I've already done that, so this is what it looks like. The next thing we're going to do is score it in half at 5 7/8. And because this is a 7/8 inch measurement, it is a little wonky, if you will, and it doesn't actually line up when we go to make our second score. So what I do, so here we made our 5 7/8 score. Next thing I'm going to do is move that to where it's in between the 7/8 and the 6 mark. So it will be on like the peg. I'm hoping you can see that. So it'll be here. It will move this in place so that I can get that 7/8 of an inch score. And this is at 8 7/8, and then score there. Now that's because I like to be exact. If you don't want to do that, you can certainly just score at 5 7/8 and 8 7/8, and it will be just a tad shorter than if you took this and put it in half. Okay, so now that we have our score lines, we're going to go ahead and burnish. First, take it in half, and then where our other score mark is, that one as well. Okay, so this is all ready to go, and this is your base. and it is also your mechanism to create a standing easel card. The next thing we will do, we'll take our main focal point and we will put glue here on this piece and glue our house onto it like that. So to attach it, I'm going to be using Beacon Fabri-Tac, and I wanted to let you guys know that I mentioned before that I bought these squeeze bottles at the Dollar Tree in their new craft section, and I actually put my Fabri-Tac in here, and it's so much easier to squeeze out, and it doesn't seem to make as much mess when I'm done with it. You know how you have those strings all the time? This one doesn't seem to do that. So I wanted to let you know in case you were interested in making that change as well. So what I'm doing now is lining the house up with the base card, right where we put all of our glue. Got a little glue on my window there. I'll fix that in a minute. So we're just lining that up. And you can see just a really light line of the yellow on the back. So that is the card. The next thing we need to do is put our stopping mechanism down here. So for the stopper part, I wanted to use a sentiment. So I used the Snow and Cocoa. It's set number 6. And the Snowflake Kisses. I stamped that out with Versamark and used some gold embossing powder. I love how that turned out, Snowflake Kisses. Then what I did was cut out a piece of the red cardstock that I used here on the house, and I'm going to layer that on here. And I've already added foam tape, so that will be how we adhere it to the base. Now you can lay things flat, glue them flat on there, but sometimes it will just pop over it. It's better to have a couple layers there, or put something up on foam so that it holds the image or the front of your card without any problem. Okay? Just going to center this up a little bit. Okay, we have that on there. I like how that's looking. I like how all the colors pull together. So I'll just take the backing off of this foam adhesive. Now I want to be able to leave some room for someone to, write their own little message and sign it. So I think I'm going to put it up a little higher. It's hard to see how to center it. Yeah, I think that will work. So there's our card. Now you can certainly put another decorative piece of paper here if you want, or a white piece of cardstock, for them to have for writing. But actually you can write on yellow with no problem, so I'm just going to leave it as is. But that is the easel card I wanted to share with you today. So I did want to mention another way that you can make easel cards, and that is by using different shapes. It doesn't have to be a house. It doesn't have to be a square or just a rectangle. You can take any type of piece of paper that you have and use any dies that you have in your arsenal. You would take it and line it up to where just the top edges of the die are not on the paper. They would be hanging out above the paper like that. Maybe that helps. And then you would run that through your machine. Now I've done that to show you an example. So it looks like this. So this is your card base. That would be the same as this yellow piece here that we just used. What you would do then is take the top piece, fold it in half. doesn't matter what size, this is what you would do. So now this created the folding mechanism that we did in the first one. Now what you would need to do is cut out another one of these, but just one. You wouldn't need to do two. So here's that. You would take your glue and line that up with the point. Give it a little burnish. And then there is your easel card. And of course you would want to create a little stopper. I cut out this cute little bee mine. And I know it's not Valentine's, but somehow this is where I went when I was looking for an example for you. So we'll just take a little piece of foam tape here, put it on the back, and we can add our stopper. Now, of course, you could put something else here. I'm just using this as an example to show you. So then it tucks right in there. So there you have another easel card. And of course you would go ahead and decorate this. I did print out some stuff. What I like to do is actually decorate the top piece before attaching it to the base. But you know, you could add some layering there. I found this cute little image here and this great little stamp that you could put on there. And then it would all just pop right up like that. So here's some takeaways for creating easel cards. You can really do them any shape, any size. When you are using dies to create them, you will need 3 of the image or the die that you're going to use. You need 2 that are connected and then 1 that is single all by itself. So just remember that. Dies need to come in 3s, 2 are connected, and 1 is loose. When you are creating the mechanism for whatever image or card, you know, you can even use your 6x6 pads. They come with those cut aparts. Take one of those. Make these. What I normally do is measure the full length of the image or card that I want to put on the front. I double that so that I have the full length of the card base that I'm going to need. And another thing to think about when you are creating your own mechanism is the width. Do you want it to be the width of the entire image, snow cap to snow cap, or just the house? If you do snow cap to snow cap, what happens is you're going to have yellow cardstock behind the trees, and you'll be able to see that. You could cut that apart, but that just to me takes more time. So what I chose to do was use the width of the house. So, you know, it's best to just kind of think about how wide you want the base of the card to be before you get started. And then that will help that. And then again, just double the length of the image that you're going to use. Or at least those are the rules that I go by. So I've shown you these 2 ways, and one more way is to just use regular cards and envelopes that you might have in your stash. These are the Paper Studio cards and envelopes from Hobby Lobby. You could take, you know, this is an envelope. You could take the card, stick it in your scoreboard, lay it flat. Whatever one panel length is, you want to do that in half. So about 5 1/4. And then burnish. I picked up this Project Life card. I can mat it, and then I can add it here. And then there's a cute little card if you glue all that together. And just put a little stopper there. I don't think it's going to need too much because this is lightweight. And then have your saying. So, you know, there's 3 ways that you can use it. One with dies, with existing cards and envelopes, and then when you create your own mechanism. So I think that is everything. And again, I usually decorate the front of the card easel first and then glue it down. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Okay, everyone, that's it for now. I'll see you next time.